Hello and welcome back to a commute home with the GorillaBiker. Nothing fancy today, no mad subjects to talk about. I just have something very exciting to tell you all, and that's why I decided to make the video. You're not tight, are you? Anywho, so the subject is I have bought another bike. But it's not just your regular bike buy that I have done. I've actually went and bought a bike in Germany. A few people kind of weirdly foretold it when I said I was in Germany for work and I had been silent on social media, and I will talk about that a little bit too. But yeah, a couple of people are like, oh, you should really buy a bike from Germany and talk about how you're getting it back. And yeah, I've done that. I'm buying a bike in Germany. I'm not telling you what bike yet though. That will have to wait. That would have to wait for the video reveal, or if you follow me on Instagram, I'll probably be posting stories along my route home so that you can see said adventure. Now the only thing is, I have taken the possibly not usual decision of I'm riding the bike the whole way back. I thought about just getting a courier and all that stuff, but there's no adventure, there's no interest in just getting a courier the whole way back. So I said no, I'm gonna ride it the whole way back. And you know, there's a lot of people who have kind of inspired me to do adventure-y stuff, such as Shade Tree Surgeon. That person is going way too fast for that car for this roundabout. Yeah, I thought about doing it the regular way, you know, getting a courier, getting the bike back, and it at the moment it would have definitely worked out cheaper to do that. So if you're looking for something that's the cheapest route, then, you know, following along with what I'm going to be doing is madness. I'll talk to you more when we're off these main roads. This person has no idea where they are, or they're just really slow. I still think it's ridiculous that bikes are charged for tolls. It makes no sense. It's also like unusually warm in Ireland today. It's absolutely brilliant. It was like 10-11 degrees, which is in the 50s in Eagle units. This morning coming to work, I don't know what it is now, but it's warm. It's absolutely fantastic. I don't even have my under layer of pants on. It's just the bike pants, which, judging by the looks of it, is going to be very different to my spin in Germany. The weather does look cold. I've been told by several people I'm insane, but it's weird, right? It's one of those things that I just I got it in my head, and it's how I was looking for bikes, right? And I was like, because I remember I said ages ago I wanted to do like a bike flip series where you buy something from somewhere, make a little bit of money on it. But that never really panned out, because all the bikes I buy I want to keep, which is it's a personality flaw. But anyway, I was looking at a bike after I fell in love with Aidan's bike, two down Insta on our trip in Scotland. His Africa Twin, his 90s, I think it's the 98. Anyway, I came across the 96 Africa Twin in Germany, and I was like, oh, will I do it? You know, it's a huge risk. Riding it back is kind of crazy. But I was kind of up for doing. Do you mind? No. A bit too close, Mr. BMW driver. What is it with people who drive BMWs? Like, are they all like? Do all of the people who drive BMW cars have mental issues? I'm just wondering, because it seems that way. That's the second one today. On the way to work, some lad was up my ass like that, which is never pleasant. And now there, just like absolutely no reason at all, just decides to wedge himself far too close to me. Like, lad, you make a mistake, you're killing me. That's not okay. Just keep your bloody distance. Anywho, so the bike I was looking at was originally a 96 Africa Twin, and I just really like the look of them. And the funny thing is, I actually didn't plan on keeping it. I was looking at them, and all the time I was like, okay, well, that Africa Twin is a lovely bike. It would be an absolute blast to ride all the way back to Ireland. But at the same time, I was kind of on the fence about keeping it, because I like kind of faster, sportier bikes. It's again, it's probably another personality flaw, but that's just what I like. And you know, I don't make any excuses about it. I know Some people might prefer more stable, calm tours, which is absolutely fine. I do like something with a little bit of bite to it. Even the CBF is kind of on what a lot of people would consider to be on the limit, but I think this bike's actually plenty fast and in normal road conditions. It's just kind of how you ride it, where you keep the revs. Anyway, I digress once again. The Africa Twin sale, anyway, after finally growing the guts to say, okay, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna try this. I'm gonna fly to Germany. I'm gonna organise it all myself, and I'm gonna ride the bike home. I emailed the seller, and the bike was sold. Now, that is entirely my own fault. I took too long to make the decision to email them, just because, like I said before in loads of videos, I'm kind of an anxious person, so I kind of worry over these decisions like a dog with a bone, and eventually I come to a decision. I'm not. It's not that I'm an indecisive person. It's just that I like to approach a problem from every angle possible before I actually do go and make like a decision that's going to affect me in the short, medium, long term, whatever it might be. So it was entirely my fault. I missed out on that Africa Twin because my indecisiveness. And then I kind of was like, okay, so that happened, that's fine. I got over that pretty quickly. I was sad for about 5 seconds. And then I decided, you know what, actually, why not look for a bike that you might possibly keep? Because it's like, okay, you know, you could buy a bike, you could possibly lose money on it. That's fine. That happens. You know what I mean? This is part of this was the journey. Part of it was the adventure. I just wanted to go do something. You know, after the last 2 years, I think a lot of people feel that way. They just want to go do something. So this was my something. This was the thing that I was looking at, and I was like, okay, that's what I want to do. I want to go out and buy a bike and ride it back. And it's, you know, for some people that might be a fairly minor adventure, but for those of us who are financially limited-ish, and obviously have limited holiday days and all that stuff, paid holiday days or vacation days, whatever you want to call them. I call them holidays, but it seems to confuse a lot of people in America who call holidays, what we would call holidays, vacation. They call holidays like national holidays and stuff, whereas I just call them all holidays or holiday days. Anyway, so I have limited paid vacation / holiday days like everyone else. I don't have the liberty to go and take my time and take a week or 2 weeks riding the bike back. It has to happen quite snappily. So I have booked 2 days off, a Thursday and a Friday, and then I also have the Saturday and the Sunday to play with. The plan is I'm flying early Thursday morning to Frankfurt. Then I'm getting a train from Frankfurt to Lichtenfels, where I'm collecting the bike. Now, there are complications that I will go through in a separate video when I define kind of all the costs and stuff, because I know there's going to be interest in that. And there is a bit to it. There's actually quite a bit of organisation that both myself and Moritz in Dipole Racing, neither of us knew, and it was a learning experience for both of us. One thing I will say is, if you're local to Dipole Racing, or if you want to buy a bike from Germany, Moritz is a legend. So good to deal with. So makes things easy, because you know, as problems are cropping up, I'm the kind of person who I look at a problem and I say, okay, that's fine, how do we fix it? And then I just go about fixing it, you know what I mean? There's no point in crying about it, because yeah, that's not going to help. It's just going to make everyone more upset if you just cry. Yeah, you come with a solution. You know, that's kind of my way of looking at things. If you have a problem and you want it fixed, come with a solution. Don't be someone who just comes and whines about the problem, because that helps precisely nobody, including yourself. And we're free. So basically, anyway, the plan is land into Lichtenfels, and then we have to sort out one of said complications I'll cover in a separate video, and then I start the ride back. So I'm riding back from Lichtenfels towards Frankfurt. That'll be a late enough night. It's like 250 kilometers, I think I said I ride that night. That's all motorway, just getting mileage in, so that I'm in a good location to start the next day. Friday, so I'm riding from Frankfurt all the way over towards Dunkirk. So I'm not going to give any details exactly where I'm staying, because that's unsafe, so I'm not going to do that. You know, I'll give you rough estimates of where I am and where I will be. And if you'd like to meet up along the way, please do let me know. So I'll be going Frankfurt, or around Frankfurt, towards around Cologne. I am kind of missing Cologne because I'm taking back roads, and then across past Brussels, again dodging Brussels, and ending up near enough Dunkirk, because I want to kind of go into Dunkirk even if it's late enough at night, so I can have a look. So yeah, if you live along that route and you're not working and you want to meet up for a quick spin, let me know. I would be delighted to have some company for a bit of the spin. And then anyway, yeah, I'm staying not far from Dunkirk that night. The following morning, so Saturday, I ride down to Calais, and then from Calais I'm getting the Eurotunnel across to Folkestone or something in England, or near Dover anyway. And then basically I have the entire day from about 10 AM till a quarter to 12 at night, so I have more than 12 hours to cross England. So if any of my friends or any of the people I have met on YouTube over the years are free on Saturday and want to meet up wherever in that line that goes from Dover across to Fishguard, because I'm going back from Fishguard, if you live along there at all, please do let me know. I would love to meet up and again have someone along for a bit of my spin. Obviously I have time, so I can take detours, grab a bit of lunch, grab a bit of dinner. I'd be absolutely over the moon to meet somebody and have a bit of company, like I said, and obviously then you get to see the bike in person. And then that night at a quarter to 12 I board a ferry and I go back to Ireland. I have a cabin on the ferry. I booked a cabin on the ferry. One of the unnecessary expenses, I did say, because I want to try to get a bit of sleep. Then Sunday morning I ride back up to my home, and I'm home. Now obviously this is contingent on absolutely nothing going wrong. I haven't really left a lot of wiggle room in here for issues, so I really hope it works out. Obviously it would suck if it didn't, so I'm going to do my absolute best for it to work. Time will tell, time will tell. I'm just kind of really hoping that everything goes off without a hitch even. A hinge would be different, a hitch, it goes off without a hitch. Like I said, Moritz in Dipole Racing has been great, so the bike is going to have new tyres, it's going to have a new TUV, or TUV, and one of the things that is an additional expense is it's going to have a temporary registration because it didn't have a registration. I don't really know how German registrations work. I just assumed it would have a reg plate and I could ride it home with the reg plate and get it changed over when I got home. As of right now, that doesn't look possible, so it is what it is, you know. We make do. It's one of those things that, you know, when you buy something like that, when you go on a trip like that, you kind of have to factor in that you're going to get some unexpected costs, and that's definitely one of them that has bitten me, that I wasn't expecting, which sucks. But you know, like I said, it is what it is. In the grand scheme of things, it's an extra chunk of money I didn't want to spend. But you think once you're that deep into something like that, you just kind of you have to make it work. You know what I mean? You just have to make it work. If I'd known up front about it, or if me or Moritz had known up in front about it, we would have, of course, planned in extra time. But I asked about the collection date. The collection date was like, yep, that's fine, and I went from there. So I booked everything. I had everything booked. I booked as much kind of semi-flexible, Jesus, as I could. That's not good, and I can't stop to pick them off the road because that would be dangerous. I booked as much kind of semi-flexible as I could just to allow for problems, but you know, booking flexible tickets just makes things so much more expensive. You'd nearly be better off missing something and then rebooking it. But anyway, look, well, hopefully it all goes off. Keep your fingers crossed for me. Pray to whatever gods you pray to, I would appreciate it, and hopefully it goes off without a hitch. I will of course be trying to make some videos along the way. I won't be making too many because I think it's like 18 hours riding total, and that's just too much video. But I'm definitely going to try video sections. I'm going to video when I pick it up, of course. I'll video the back road bit of Friday and the nice roads along the Rhine that I have planned, and then I will of course try video some of Saturday, especially if I meet up with people. I would love to meet up with people and make a video with people. So Hippo Drones, I think you live near London. If you live near London, let's meet up, let's have a quick spin. I would love to see your lovely Moto Guzzi in person, or your Gixxer, or actually, well, any of your bikes in person actually. They will all sate my thirst for bikes. Anyway, that was kind of one big monologue, but basically that's the plan. So Dublin to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to Lichtenfels, Lichtenfels back to Frankfurt, Frankfurt to near enough Dunkirk. I actually can't remember the name of the town I'm going to. Dunkirk to Calais, Calais to Folkestone, Folkestone to Fishguard, Fishguard to Rosslare, Rosslare to home. Yeah, it's going to be exciting. It's going to be exciting. It's, you know, some of the people that I'll talk about them in the videos I make on the bike, but some of the people that kind of are inspirational for this are the likes of Itchy Boots, Shade Tree Surge, and, you know, people who just take on big mad rides. The people I've watched for a long time. It was just one of those things that I was like, you know, I really want to do something, and this was kind of the coolest thing I could think of, so I said, why not? I hope it's a bike I can keep when I get back, and when I kind of tot up how I've spent everything and what I need to spend money on in the coming months, I'll know better. So there might be a bike for sale in a month or two. I really hope it doesn't come to that. I really hope I can keep it. But at the same time, you know, you got to be realistic about these things. You can't keep every bike. I would love to be some form of collector of cool bikes when I'm older, but look, it is what it is. It is what it is. But yeah, basically the videos coming up are going to be me hopefully collecting it and everything going right. I'll talk about what the other bikes were that I was looking at that brought me to that one, why I picked that thing, you know, and then obviously I'll be making a video about breaking down the cost of it all, how difficult it was, including registering it in Ireland. My original estimate has definitely ballooned a bit, but that's okay. Like I said, I planned for it to balloon a bit. I kind of knew it was going to balloon a bit, especially since some of the costs I had to put on my heated grips. I think the temperature is dropping, especially since, you know, I knew that, you know, some things were going to go wrong. I expected that, and a huge part of why I'm making this is because as of right now, it's virtually impossible to buy a bike and bring it in from the UK into Ireland, because it's just gotten too expensive. So Germany is a great alternative. Now, I know a lot of people who used to go over and ride the bike back from the UK because it was fun. It was fun, you know, and it's close and it's easy. And I just wanted to prove that, yeah, it's a little bit extra time, but it's just as easy to ride a bike back from Germany. There's added cost for sure, but you know, it's also an adventure. So I mean, that's kind of the thing is for me as well. Like, I don't mind spending a bit of money on it, because at the end of the day, I'm not just buying a bike. I'm having an adventure on the way back, and hopefully meeting some of you on the way back, because that would make the trip even more worth it. That would cancel out it'd cancel out some of the additional unexpected cost if I just got to meet a few people, you know, bump a few fists and say hello. That would be cool. Anyway, that's probably far longer than it needed to be. If you watched, thank you very much for watching, as always. You know, as always, a very, very special thank you to all of my patrons. My patrons have really been a great help in planning this out, thinking about it, and you know, sometimes you need some people like that to talk you through, or talk through stuff with, and make a decision, because even when you have your mind made up, sometimes it's easy to talk yourself out of things like this. And it's one of those things that I'm very glad I didn't let myself talk myself out of, if that makes sense. I'm very happy that I'm doing it. I'm very happy that I'm in the position that I can tell you all about it, because literally everything's booked. It's happening. I'm flying no matter what. And I just really hope I haven't wasted a lot of money. Hopefully it works. Anyway, as always, thank you again for watching. Adios. Outro crew. If I haven't told you, guesses in the comments below about what bike I bought. If you guess correctly in the next 24 hours, the first person who guesses, I will let you know, and I'll send you some stickers. So we'll just talk in the background. But You have 24 hours from the release of this video to guess. And if you're watching this like a year later, please do me a favor, look at when the video is released and don't comment about winning, because I get those comments sometimes. People are like, oh, you should have done this, and I'm like, yeah, I made that video 2 years ago, it's a bit late. But I still appreciate those comments. I appreciate all comments, even though sometimes I do get a little bit ratty sometimes if I've had a bad day. I try not to, I do my best not to, but it doesn't always happen. Anyway, bye.